Elijah Fisher, which is Canada's next LeBron James, has had a fantastic game recently, scoring 74 points in a single game. We're going to be breaking down some of the highlights from that game to show you just how impossible it is to defend this player. Let's get down. Let's check out Elijah Fisher. Okay, so this first clip, when he receives that ball, he takes a quick sidestep dribble for a one hard dribble attack where he pulls up for a jumper. Why is this so impressive? Well, the reason why this is impressive is because, of course, his defender was popping out to cover him. He takes a sidestep, which then opens up that defender to force Elijah Fisher towards that right side. When that happens, Elijah Fisher takes one hard dribble, gets his shoulders nice and low over top of his knees and toes, which then allows him to stop basically on a dime, gets that defender's heels down on the ground, and then he rises up for his jump shot. He has a nice high release with his elbow well above his forehead and a nice soft release as well, which makes it exactly what you need to do because it's extremely hard to block. In this next clip, we see him attacking the basket. He gets his body in front of that main defender. That is because he wants to get his shoulder in front of the shoulder of that defender to be able to have the angle on him. That basically removes that defender from that situation. He takes a couple of dribbles, takes a nice hard jump stop, which then allows him to have balance to go up into his jump when he's got basically two defenders on him trying to block his shot. He's able to get that shot off the backboard, and it's a very easy shot too. However, again, on this drive, he tries to get that angle by getting his shoulder in front of the shoulder of that defender, and then when he takes that jump stop, he's already nice and balanced, shoulders over knees, and when he goes up, he's got two hands on the ball, which makes it really hard for players to try to knock off, and then of course he uses his left hand on the left side, which is of course very important. He's also very good at using these screens. Here he has the defender trying to go underneath the screen, and anytime you have a defender who's trying to go underneath the screen, and yes, I can understand why the other team may be calling for that to be a moving screen. However, it was not called a moving screen for one very main reason, and that is that player was going underneath the screen and he was not trying to actually defend Elijah Fisher. He was not trying to go over top of the screen or at least to move towards the screen. That defender was trying to go underneath the screen. If that player rolls into that defender, it doesn't matter. It should not be called a foul because that defender was not trying to play defense, and that allows Elijah Fisher to take that three because if a player goes underneath the screen, you need a pop. This is a fantastic example as well of moving off ball. When he inbounded that ball, he was able to attack that rim and went up very strong. So of course, when he made that inbound, he noticed that he had a massive lane towards the basket. His teammate was able to get him that pass, and then when he got that ball, it was one hard dribble and a jump stop. He has three players around him, and he was still able to go up because he had two hands on that ball, tried to make contact with that shoulder to keep that player away from that ball, from trying to block that shot, and because of that, he was able to get that ball up, and he knows how to use that backboard definitely because he was able to get it up nice and high off the backboard. This is a main reason why I think that he is essentially the next LeBron James. He's able to use contact to his advantage. We can see that here when he's attacking this defender, he takes a slight veer step around that player into a jump stop, gets his shoulder into the chest of that defender, which makes it extremely hard to try and block that player because of course now you need to go over top of him, which you can't, and of course Elijah Fisher makes that shot. He is extremely well versed in using his body strength to his advantage to get that ball into the rim, and we're able to see that here. When he sees that player reaching in, he brings that ball into his stomach, into his hips. He's able to then hop into making contact with that defensive player, going straight up into the arms of that player and making that layup. This is not an offensive foul. He's not trying to get his shoulder past his feet. His shoulder is in line with his feet, which is not an offensive foul. He's not the one making contact, and that defensive player is standing straight up, which means that call right there, that no call by this referee, is extremely good. Both these refs are absolutely amazing, by the way, and they definitely know how to referee a game. Here we see a fantastic 5-out style offense where we have the wing player cutting towards the basket because there's an opening in the middle of the key. This player is not playing fantastic defense because either he needs to get into the key a little bit more or covering that corner a little bit more for this player to move up in this zone. However, this player on the opposite side is making a huge mistake by not watching the key. He's literally watching something that's not even part of the play, and because of that, that leaves Elijah Fisher wide open in the middle of the key, and of course that open dunk. What I'm trying to say is, of course, not trying to make fun of the defense. The defense was absolutely horrible by both these teams. However, this is what you need to do as an offensive player. You need to find an opening on the court and exploit that defense. I also really like his shooting form. He has that middle finger release that we always like to see with players. Middle finger or split finger release is always really good. No thumb flick, nice high release, straight up and down on a shot. Absolutely fantastic. And we can see that his hand is a bit higher on the ball than some fantastic shooters like Curry, but it is not that bad. We don't really want to say that it's bad because it's not. He shoots at a very high percentage. And it's actually a lot better of a form in my opinion than LeBron James too. Here we see him popping to the high post against a 2-3 zone. He does a reverse pivot, and when he makes that reverse pivot, he's looking at the basket and looking at his defender, seeing what is happening. He's able to see with his peripheral vision all three of these players, and because of that, when he reverse pivots, he notices that the defender is going out towards the free throw line, and he now has a gap between that wing and post or wing and middle player. And because of that, he's able to take one hard dribble, get it into two hands, hop step or jump stop. He's able to land on both feet, which gives him power and ability to get up into the air. He's able to take that shot fake first so that he can get that center up into the air, so that of course he has the ability when that player comes back down from his jump, he goes up. That's what you need to do on a shot fake. When you make a shot fake, the guy goes in the air. Don't go up when he's in the air. Go up when he's on his way back down. That's going to allow you to have an open layup. Even in transition, he's not afraid to take that three-point shot. Actually, a really nice shot. I just absolutely love his shooting form. Now, of course, there's a lot of coaches who will say he needs to get a 90 degree on his elbow. He's got a 45, which is totally fine. He is using a lot more of his arm in his shot, just like LeBron, than he does his legs like Curry. However, it works for him. He also knows how to get shifty. Here they had that switch that happened onto the defense. He takes a quick through the legs side hop, or side hop dribble is what I like to call it. Some people will call it a hesitation. And then he's able to take a quick step back and get a wide open three. I just absolutely love his shooting form, by the way, and I want to say that over and over and over again. It's like a mix between a LeBron James style shot and a Curry shot with that soft release. I just really like it. He has the legs slightly sway forward so that he can get extra power on a shot. Just overall, very, very nice looking shooting form. And then the last clip we're going to look at is him cutting across the key. He lands on both feet at the same time. He has three defenders around him, but there is a very big key factor to this and why I wanted to break it down. And that is when he got this ball in the middle of the key, he has two defenders who are going towards the same direction as where he was going. That means that their momentum is taking them towards that side, and you now need to spin back the opposite way, which now they are no longer in position to be able to block your shot, and he's able to get that layup. Elijah Fisher is going to be an absolutely amazing basketball player in the future. I think that he is very easily going to be an NBA player and potentially could help Team Canada in a few years beat the United States. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.